What's good everyone, it's Adam from imamusicmogul. Welcome to a brand new video. Today we're going to go ahead and remake Kanye West track Off the Grid. So let's get straight to it. First things first, let's go and change our tempo to 133 beats per minute. We're going to start off with the intro sound. It's pretty much the melody that loops throughout the entire record with different tones to it. But let's go ahead and just draw that in right now. So for this sound, we're going to go ahead and use Logic's Vintage Mellotron. And we'll come back to the sound in a moment. Let's just go ahead and draw in that pattern. And that just repeats itself like that. All right, next let's go and open up our Vintage Mellotron right here and just manipulate the sound a little bit. Pull down the tone a bit. And that's pretty much all I'm going to do right there. Next, let's go ahead and bring in a little bit of chorus just to soften up this sound. We're going to go to modulation chorus. We can go mono to stereo, that's fine. I'm just going to go to a preset called vocal backups. Next up, we're going to go ahead and bring in a reverb. We'll go to Space Designer right over here. And we're just going to pull down the dry to about, I don't want the full dry in there, so we'll go like that. Let's pull down the reverb, the wetness level a bit. Give some space. Now for this intro section, we need to get it half-timed. There is a way to do it in Logic by bouncing the audio, but for this tutorial, we're just going to do it quick time, halftime. So we're just going to go straight to the plugin halftime by Cable Guys, and we're going to go to 1/8 right here, leave the mode on 2 times, and this is what we get. Next up, let's go ahead and lay down some of those chords underneath it. We're going to create a new software instrument track. And for this one, we're also going to bring in another instance of Vintage Mellotron. We'll leave the sound as is. Let's go ahead and just draw in those chords. Work on the second half right over here. Duplicate that over. Work on the last set of chords here. All right, so it sounds like this all together. All right, but that's not quite the sound that we want. So let's go ahead and open up the Mellotron plugin over here. First thing we're gonna do here is we're gonna change our sound B to a male choir. So let's go over to male choir right here. Just do that. And I guess we could just change this here, but that's fine. Male B, sound, male choir, sound B. I'm gonna pull the tone all the way up. Pull the tape speed back. So we're going to layer this choir sound. This is just going to be sort of our vocal male lead in the background. Let's go ahead and close that out. Next thing we're going to do is bring in an EQ. We're going to take out a lot of the top end. And let's go ahead and take out some of the low end here as well. All right, so like I said, we want to layer up this sound. So let's go ahead and create a new softer instrument track. We're going to copy down the same pattern. And for this sound, we're going to bring in Logic's Alchemy. And for this sound, we're going to go to pads and we're going to go to a preset called Air Choir Sweep. Right over here, this is what it sounds like. Except we got to pitch this down 2 octaves. Take out some of the low end here. Layer that together. All right, so now we're getting that main sound right there. Next, let's go ahead and create a new softer instrument track, and we're gonna create that Moog bass that happens in the background. I'm gonna go to my sound library here, and I'm gonna go to the Toronto Views preset kit. I'll link that down below. We will use a preset from there called the BA or bass Moog bass preset. And it's going to be an underlying dark, heavy bass tone that's happening on this intro bit. First, let's go ahead and draw in that pattern and then get to the sound design. All right, so let's go ahead and manipulate this sound a little bit. We'll open up our Logic's ES2 right here. I'm just gonna pull down our cutoff a little bit. That's pretty much it for that. I'm just gonna bring in EQ and just filter out a lot of the top end as well. And let's filter some of that low end rumble that's happening there. We could clean that up a bit. So that's our intro bit right there. Next, let's go ahead and duplicate this over and we'll start working on our verses. There's 2 sections to the verses, a verse A and verse B. So let's work on verse A right here. So for this bass portion right here, I'm going to take out these 3 notes here because an 808 does come in through the halfway point through the bar. I'm going to stretch that note out and we get this. And that sort of just stretches out. Next, I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this right here. Our Mellotron track. I'm going to take out the halftime. We're going to pull this down. I'm going to change up this sound a little bit here. Pull that back a little bit. And I'm just gonna add in a little bit of more the wetness level here, just to give it more dimension and space. All right, next let's go ahead and create a new softer instrument track here. And we're going to bring in a sound that happens at the latter part of this verse section or chorus. We're going to go to Logic's Alchemy, and we're going to bring in a preset found underneath the brass setting here or category. And the preset is called Colossal Brass. And we're just going to go ahead and draw in that single note that happens at the end here. I'm going to change it to the dark setting here. And that brings us into the next section. But before we do that, let's go ahead and just bring in the drums. So I'm going to create a new software instrument track here. And we are going to bring in the off the grid drum kit. Where is it here? Here it is right here, the off the grid drum kit. And let's start off with something simple. There's a lot of drums in here because the second part of the song where the switch up happens, new drums come into play. But here's the first part. We'll bring in the clap first, something easy and simple. Let's bring in the open hat, just on the one. All right, next, let's bring in the kick pattern. Duplicate that over. Let's just work on this latter half here. And we're going to get a triplet happening right over here. We need a faster triplet. Let's go 30-second triplet. All right, and it sounds like this. All right, let's draw in our hi-hats, a simple pattern, a two-step pattern, just like that. Nope, we need it to be set to 8s. And then our 808 pattern hits right there, so let's get to that. All right, so there's that pattern right there. Next, let's go ahead and duplicate all this over. Our open hat switches up a little bit, so let's go ahead and change that up first. Let's copy this over as well. Except our bass pattern comes out and it switches up here as well. We're only going to keep the latter half, and our 808 pattern is going to fill in this section right over here. So let's draw in a new 808 pattern. We'll take out this 808 over here. Let's draw in this one over here. gonna add in a couple more instruments over here as well on this ladder section right here. But first, we are going to take out the drums as there's like a little build-up section over here. And then it loops back into that verse A over here. So what I'm gonna do here is create a new software instrument track, and we're gonna copy down this same pattern over here. And we're gonna bring in a new pad sound just to fill this portion of the song out. We're gonna bring in Logic's Alchemy. And we're gonna bring in vocals, choir, and we're gonna bring in the Aurora Haze preset here. Just gonna pull this up. All right, and then right here, there's like a tom roll that happens. I'm not gonna use the exact one that's in the track itself, but I'm gonna find a loop that we can get somewhere close to it. The loop is called Tom Boy Phil. All right, I'm just gonna bring that in here. Maybe we could just use this second half here. All right, it's not exact, but you get the idea of what's happening here. We'll just add in a little bit of reverb to it. All right, and then it pretty much just loops itself. So I'm gonna just take that. It's gonna go from this section back into this first part here. Except I think this gets this. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and work on the second half. I am gonna listen to the song, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that on my own. I'm gonna come right back and I'll explain everything I did because there's a lot of crazy stuff happening there with the 808, and there's no way I will know what to do just showing you live without listening to the song back and forth 100,000 times. So let's get to it. All right, so welcome to the walkthrough of the second half right over here. So it goes in from that section that we put together here. So let me explain what's happening over here. Over here, we just get literally the same sound. It's the same pattern that plays throughout. The only thing I did here was add in an exciter just to give it some more of a harsher tone to it. And that's pretty much it. Then we get a new set of hi-hats right over here. This is the pattern. Sort of like a standard UK drill type of pattern. I have an echo on it, and I have some reverb on it. Without the echo, you lose that sort of groove to it. See? All right, we get these analog bells right over here at the top of the bars, and for this I'm using an Alchemy preset from Leeds called 80s Analog Bells, and using the auto pan performance section over there. And we also get this gunshot right over here that sort of plays throughout the loop or song. And then we'll get to the 808s in a second. What else do we have here? We get this choir sound again. All right, we get a clap. Another type of kick. A perk sound. But the 808s are pretty wild. There's a lot of glides happening in it. And in Logic, if you're looking to do those UK drill glides, first of all, there's 3 different patterns of 808s. And this is what it looks like. Yeah, a lot of crazy stuff happening here. So to get that sort of that push and pull type of sound, I usually go to Logic Sampler, just because in Drum Machine Designer, on the quick sampler, it doesn't quite give you that portamento that you need or glide that you need to get these 808 glides. So in Sampler, it gives you a better ability to control that through, if you hit details for more information, you can change the mode to legato, and you just turn the glide up to 30, and then you just overlap the notes like this, and you'll get that gliding sound. Just so I show you, let me just go to this kick here. In Quick Sampler, for some reason, you do not get the legato mode. You need that legato mode to get that gliding sound that you hear on UK drill 808s. So that's why we're using Logic's sampler right over here. All right, there is the second half right there. Like I said, that was too crazy to show. Video would be quite long. I think it took me about 40 minutes to get that 808 pattern right there. Whew, a lot of work, but anyways, it's done. That is the remake. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. This is the rig we just put together. Kanye West track, Off the Grid. Let's go. All right, editor Adam here. I forgot to mention one thing while I was recording the video, and as I'm editing it, I figured I should tell you exactly what I did in case you're wondering. So in the song, there is a tempo switch up from part A to part B. It goes from 133 beats per minute to 138 beats per minute. And in Logic, it's really easy to add in a secondary tempo or tempo switch up. Just click this right over here and go to the tempo tab. And all you got to do is literally take your marker here or your playhead, place it where you want it. In this case, it was bar 41 where the switch up happens. Click this plus sign, enter the tempo, and you got your tempo switch up. In this song, goes from 133 to 138. Figured I'd share that with you in case you're wondering how to do tempo change ups. That's how you do it. Back to the video. All right, so right there is the remake to Off the Grid by Kanye West. The Logic session will be down below this video. I'll also include a playback if you don't use Logic. That will include the drum kit, the MIDI stems, the audio stems, the whole playback that you could drag into your own DAW and play with. That will be also down below the like button as well. If you did like this video, remember to hit that like button. It does help out the channel. Thank you for watching. I hope you learned something new in this one. And as usual, we'll see you all in the next one. Later. Peace.